everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Sunday. I missed everybody yesterday. I was online with my virtual launch. So I partner with Diane Evans in Kamloops, British Columbia, and we have such fun during launch parties. And so we were live yesterday from 7 in the morning till 7 at night with a whole bunch of people that joined us for the day. It was so much fun. So if you joined, thank you so much for joining us. It really makes the day fun and enjoyable and so worth it for us. We're always so humbled by the participation. So you have till 7 o'clock tonight to get your orders in. And of course, if you live in Canada and don't have a demonstrator, hey, Susan, welcome from Michigan. Lynette, Nancy, welcome. Yeah, so if you have an order to get in and it's over $65, I'll be sending you a package of the flat Jingle Bell trinkets as a thank you. All right, so today I thought I would play with a brand new suite. Yeah, I guess I'm using most of the things, not all of them, from the Boughs of Holly suite, which is brand new in the July to December mini catalog. And I don't even have my catalog handy. I cleaned up after yesterday to tell you what page it's on. But it's just a fun suite. I just love the holly leaves. And I'm going to play with a technique where I'm using sponge daubers to actually apply different colors of ink so you get the variegated look to them. This is the suite that we're going to be using for our next Creativity Abounds Stamp Camp coming up in October. Well, I shouldn't say next. Our next one is using Hues of Happiness. So if you haven't registered for that, there's still a chance you can do. I have an extra kit cut, but you really need to place that order today or tomorrow at the latest so you have it in time for the Stamp Camp, which is July 22nd and 23rd. But our October suite, our October Stamp Camp is using this suite. Gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself. We have so many fun things planned. All right, let me switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. All right, so this is the Boughs of Holly or the Leaves of Holly bundle. So that's kind of what I'm using. I love these holly leaves and some great sentiments. And then the berries. And then you can cut out the leaves. These images are 90% of what they are, and it's two-step stamping. So you can do it like I'm doing it, where you're going to use sponge daubers and applying different colors of ink, or you can do some two-step stamping with them. So these cut out those, and then there are the dies that you can cut out more detailed leaves. This is my favorite. I haven't used this yet, but this die cuts out a sentiment. It's a label plus these holly leaves on the top of it. Isn't pretty? Hey, Polly, welcome. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, and then of course you've got the ones to cut the berries out with. Let's get started. The other thing, well, the others that I'm using are, I have to get the name right. These are the split card textures dies. And I just love these. I'm using this one with all of the boxes on it. And of course, I'm using for label, these are the stylish shapes dies. So I'm going to use this label banner one. All right, let me bring in my goodies. So I am using, because I grabbed my paper trimmer, I'm using Evening Evergreen. I realized yesterday how much Evening Evergreen I actually use. I have ordered so much, and I opened my last package yesterday. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm scoring it at 5.5. And as always, I fold into the mountain or the raised line, and give a good burnish with your bone folder. Now I went ahead and cut out a piece of cardstock or a designer series paper, and I'm just going to grab this designer series paper. Is absolutely stunning. Let me just bring it in for a minute. So this is actually the one I'm using. It's Evening Evergreen kind of stripes, but on the back of it is this really pretty pattern with the holly leaves and berries. So that's one. And then in it are these really pretty poinsettias. So the colors are, I get my piece out that's got all the colors on it. The colors are Cherry Cobbler, Evening Evergreen, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Poppy Parade, Real Red, Sahara Sand, Shaded Spruce, Soft Succulent, and Soft Suede. It just is so pretty. So many colors. Is the split dies in the, no, it is not in the suite. It's separate. It's actually in the annual catalog. It came out in the annual catalog. So split card dies. All right, so there's the poinsettias, and then this really pretty polka dot, mottled kind of polka dot. I love the shaded spruce in this one and the bright berries and white. And then this one, I'm not sure this is me, but I think it could be really pretty as a card base or as a background. I'll give you that. That's kind of my take on that one for the moment. This one's pretty with the Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. And then all these great trees. This would be a great background. I think at least in North America, those dies are not orderable today, but they say they will be in as of tomorrow, Susan. So if you're looking, this is a really pretty one. It's kind of looks like bark on a tree. And then on the other side, some more poinsettias. Some pretty background in real red, and then more poinsettias. So it's just really pretty paper. I can't wait to use more of it. Okay, so what I did was I've gone ahead and cut out these split dies from a piece of designer series paper. And you're going to use the stripe. And I've cut a piece of very vanilla that I'm going to put behind it, just because I want it to have a bit of a brighter background with it. If I put it like that, it just feels like I'm kind of losing it. So I'm going to just take and put just a little bit of liquid glue along the edge here. This die cut out so amazingly. There is a lot of little bits that come out of it. So I was quite happy that it just cut one run through and it was cut, which is nice. Then I just had to clean up all of the bits. So I'm just going to, this is the same size. So this piece of designer series paper, I cut, both of these are cut to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with the die. And now I've just adhered it. So I have that background. Okay. And I think I'm going to put it this way. I mean, I could put it this way. Maybe I won't adhere it on yet. Let's leave it for the moment, because I'm not sure now that I'm looking at it. And I've got glue on here. Bothers me. Okay. All right. Hello. I'm not sure who that is from Kalamazoo, Michigan, but welcome. I've got 2 people from Michigan. All right. Now, let's bring in the stamps. I'm going to use these 2. These are the more detailed stamps. I've got 2 sponge daubers. And I've got Evening Evergreen and Parakeet Party. I decided to kind of go really bright with this, but sometimes holly leaves are quite bright. So when I do this technique, what I'm going to do is just apply ink to my stamps. You could use your blending brushes. I kind of like to use sponge daubers. It just gives me a little bit more control. And I'm just going to pick up, and I start with my lightest ink typically. And I'm just kind of patting it down on the stamp. There we go. And now I'm going to pick up some Evening Evergreen. Now, what I don't want to do is color this entire thing with the Evening Evergreen. So I'm going to make sure that I don't kind of go over the whole thing. And probably what I'm going to do is, hoping this is going to turn out. I haven't done this for a while. I'm going to go back over it a little bit with the there by Parakeet Party. And now I've got a piece of Very Vanilla. I just felt like very vanilla was the right color. And we'll see how this goes. Hopefully, it's kind of light. I could have done it a little bit darker. So let's try that again. Let's put a little bit more.
Go for a walk. Expect you to fix the beeping and the boofing by the time we're
Yeah, would not be nice. I can't even let people know that my power went out.
Hey, oh, I'm probably not going to hear me now. I think I may be back, although that might be questionable. If you can hear me now, let me know, and I'm going to try and get my phone back hooked up. You're back. Oh, good. Oh my gosh, my power went out right in the middle of things. So just, I'm going to try and get back on and in my, to my, my phone connected, because of course my phone disconnect through all of this. Isn't this fun when that happens? Oops. Gosh, let's see if I can do this again. Sorry about this. Copy the link. Our power seems to go out on a fairly regular occurrence here, and I'm not sure what's going on. So it's Sunday. You wouldn't think that anything would be going on at the moment. All right, I'm going to mute this. So if you can hear me, give me the thumbs up. And oops. You can see all the technical parts of me trying to get onto YouTube and onto live. There we go. All right, looks like I've got my phone back. You can hear me still. Okay, well, there we go. I'm back. Some lights would be good if I had some lights. Okay, phew. Okay, so just as the power went out, I was redoing mine. So those were the original ones. They feel a little light. So what I did was I redid them and stamped them after my power went out. And I added more of the evening evergreen, and I'm a little happier with how those turned out. So let's take and cut these out. And I do have to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So let me just do that. Here we go. All right, move things out of the way. Okay, so I put new plates in yesterday because when I was cutting out during my, when we stamped together, it wasn't cutting very well. My plates were very warped because they get used an awful lot. So I got some new plates out, and I love it when I put new cutting plates in, and they have that nice kind of cracking sound as you're using them. All right, so there's my leaves. What I should have done is stamp the berries. So I'm going to stamp these off. So I've got real red here. I'm going to stamp off and then stamp the berries because I've got a piece of real red that I cut using the dies. And so this will go over top. So I just want that to be just a little bit lighter than, so there's a die that cuts these berries out and then the detail piece out as well. So I'll get my machine again. And put that down. I didn't grab any Post-it note tape, so I'm trying not to have it shift. There we go, not too bad. Okay, I think I've got everything cut now. The one thing I will tell you about these leaves, so when you're doing your using your sponge daubers to do it, I realized I've missed a point on one of the leaves, and that's okay. But just make sure you cover the whole piece over. And so maybe blending brushes might have been a good idea to apply the maybe parakeet party over the whole thing in blending brushes, and then just use the evening evergreen in parts. Okay, so this actually has holes in it, I didn't realize. So this is the little piece that's going to go over top of my berries. Oops. These berries would have been pretty in the, there is red and white glimmer paper that is part of the Sweetest Candy Cane suite. So these would have been really pretty cut in the red glimmer paper. I don't know that, I think the red foil that we had retired, but you might have some red foil in your stash. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue. So we will just adhere this detailed piece to the berries. There we go. Okay. Now, where's my card base? Is here. So I didn't adhere this down. So the question I have, so my thought is, let's just kind of do some auditioning. This is what I was thinking I was going to do with the sentiment cut or stamped on a piece. So maybe I'm going to put this up up a little bit. And then the sentiment down here at the bottom. And the other thing I think I'm going to use is this is carried over, or actually it was brought back, I think. This is the gold shimmer ribbon. It's 3/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to take and just do, let's see what I can do. I'm just going to take and we'll put some of that behind it, but let's stamp the sentiment. I think I'm going to stamp the sentiment in real red. I just want some more pop of color on here. So I was going to use the one that says Christmas Wishes. And again, this is the largest of the Stylish Shapes banners that are in that. So let's do real red. And then I also cut it out of evening evergreen. So my favorite trick to add a mat behind is to cut a piece in whatever color you want and then adhere it top and bottom or even the sides. If you cut it the opposite way, you could adhere it lengthways or to the sides. So I'm just going to bring my silicone mat in so I don't get glue all over. And I'm just going to adhere this to the top and bottom of my banner. I just like to have a little bit of kind of color behind my sentiment. Gonna get that on. There we go. And then I'm going to use dimensionals because I've got black dimensionals because that's kind of what's handy. And I'll use these also to hold. So I'm kind of putting them over top of the seam so that they'll hold those pieces in place as well. Kind of doing double duty. All right, let's take that out of the way. Let's put this on and then we'll see how it goes from there. There we go. I haven't adhered that on quite yet. Okay, so now let's think about what we can do. My lid on that so it doesn't clog up. So let's see what we can do. Maybe just kind of thinking some loops in like this. And if I put this on like that. Don't know. I don't know. Maybe. I haven't done this before, so I'm kind of playing here. Actually, what I want is that. Let's see. maybe something like that. Okay, let's see if I can make this work. We'll cut a piece of this ribbon. This ribbon is so pretty. And let's use some glue dots to kind of hold it in place. And okay, so there's put a glue dot on the end, and then we'll kind of make a loop. I can hear my dog. My dog hates it when the power goes out. She's just the funniest thing. There's nothing, no sound really, of course, when the power goes out, but she freaks out. It's just the weirdest thing. And so my husband, when the power went out, he took her for a walk just so that she wasn't barking. Okay, so I got a bit of a loop system going. Let's see how this goes. Okay, let's put it. I don't know if you can see what I'm trying to do. Just trying to make it so that there's some loops behind. Kind of put it where I want it to be. All right, so let's see how this ends up being. Now I'm going to use dimensionals behind my, yeah, I don't know, it's Nancy, does Mandy go crazy when, I don't know, maybe your power doesn't go out, but she just freaks out. You would think so, because there's really no noise, but as soon as the power goes out, she starts shivering and shaking. I got a really scary cat dog. All right, so let's kind of stick the leaves down. And like that. Tuck that down underneath. Might have to put a glue dot down and hold that in place. All right. Let's move this one. Oh, this one and just up a little bit. There we go. There we go. All right. I just feel like the goal very rarely. Yeah, I don't know. Our power never used to go out before we moved to where we live now in Ladysmith, but oh my gosh, it goes out a fair amount here. All right, and I'm gonna just use, I think, a glue dot to hold this loop down. This loop seems to be kind of going rogue. There we go. Maybe not. All right, we'll leave it like that. I'm stop fussing, Melva. Okay, so let's take our glue. I'm going to use some Wink of Stella. It's feeling like it needs some Wink of Stella on here. Oops, I got lots of glue on here now. And there we go. So let's use some Wink of Stella. Kind of off camera here. And let's at least do the berries with Wink of Stella. Just to brighten them up a little bit. You won't be able to see that, but I can. Let's stick that down a little bit more. Now, I need to squeeze out a little bit more Wink of Stella. When you squeeze that out, make sure you don't do it on top of your card, because you might get a big, like I just did there. I'm going to put some Wink of Stella, some more, and I'm going to just kind of put it on my leaf as well, just to brighten it up. I got a big splodge there. That's going to take a minute to dry. You guys can't see that, but that's a lot of Wink of Stella. Oh well. Okay, now the last thing I grabbed somewhere are the red rhinestones, and they're just so pretty. Let's add some red rhinestones and just kind of maybe one there and one here. Oh, they're little. Let's add two more. I like odd numbers, so we'll add 5. There's one there. There. You know what I've done? Oh, yeah, you guys never do this, right? So look what I did. I've got it going the wrong way. I wonder if I can get this off. I can't get this off. So I'm going to have to cut this off. Oh my goodness. That's just because I'm a little flustered with the power going out. I will have to cut this off and put it on another card base. Oh, well, that's okay. That's easily fixed. I do have another piece of berry vanilla that I'm just going to take, and I'm going to try my other technique where I said, how about let's try using a blending brush. So let's just pick up some ink with a blending brush and put it onto my stamp. We'll see how this works out. And then we'll take the sponge dauber and pick up some evening evergreen and just put on here. And we'll see how this, let's take that off so I don't get any extra ink. And I'm just going to stamp on the inside of this. See how that looks. Oh, that's still pretty light. So I think my sponge dauber works better. So I'm going to put that on the inside of the card once I fix this base. Yeah, I'm just going to cut this base and put it onto another card base. That's what I will do. And it will be as right as rain shortly. But there we go. That's the card using the Boughs of Holly stamp set. And thank you guys so much for your patience with me as I had all of those technical difficulties today. So check this out if you haven't already. I really love this suite. These leaves are going to be so much fun to make, and cards. And this paper is just stunning. So yeah, you could blend. Nancy, the only thing about blending with the darker color and then daubering with the light color, sometimes you lose that light color because of the darkness of the first layer, which is why I tend to do the lightest layer first and then add on the dark color. But try it and see how it works. These leaves are just going to be amazing to do all sorts of techniques. I think I'm going to try some watercoloring because I think this is going to be a great technique to do some watercoloring. So stay tuned for that. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. I will be live again on Tuesday night at 6:30 Pacific with a sketch challenge for you. I hope you'll join me then. If you're interested, you can find the information about my class, which is at 7 o'clock at Pacific on Monday night, free class. Join me, we'll make a card together. And then Thursday night, I'll be live at 6:30 with technique again. So maybe we'll do some more watercoloring. It's watercoloring month for Stampin' Up! So maybe watercoloring is the right thing to do on Thursday night with these stamps. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me again. Thanks for the patience. Happy stamping. Bye.